so hard for me to, yeah. But at the CBCS, where it kind of was, you know, the four teams that are all like trading blows with each other, and they were able to win that out, and they actually did it in a reverse sweep, which I think legitimizes it even more in a BO5 Grand Final. So kind of cool. They have been getting their reps in. They play a hell of a lot, so I have no doubt they're going to have a lot of ideas here in this 0-1 matchup versus M80.
Yeah, it's a spicy matchup, I think. At least our closest game in theory. We'll see if these players, these teams can show up and make it so here in another BO1 to go 0-2 or to bounce back 1-1. High stakes here. M80 want to make it to a major. It was taken away from them in Copenhagen. It was out of their hands.
Something I do always like as well with the RED Canids roster is, who do you reckon Venom Zera was named after?
couldn't hazard a guess.
But is there strength in the two Zeras together? Slow burn of a pistol, but it's kind of insane with how quiet and how slow this pistol round's been, how much room M80 have. They were in B and in mid and through camera, all in the same breath without having to drop any util or make a single footstep. That feels like a lot of space conceded from RED Canids right off the top, and it's come back to haunt them here. This pistol round looking to get locked in pretty comfortably by M80.
You don't want to call a save, but you look at it, 3v5, and you go, God, we are so out of position for this one. The thing that's tempting is a smoke kit. Yeah, Venom Zera gives it right over, because Henny can just smoke that bomb and get on it, and that's really your best bet. But you still need some kills to supplement this retake, and it's not coming through. Venom Zera dropped. Nice shot for Sin. And there's no survivors in this pistol. I also want to say, and I'm not just saying because they won pistol, I think M80 are kind of pretty heavy favorites for me. Like RED Canids, you talk about this head-to-head in Brazil and how everyone can beat everyone, and you know it's very back and forth, and different teams get different chances. And sure, RED Canids were at EPL where they took down Ents and Falcons. But M80 have been doing this for even longer. They've been playing, you know, these players playing in Europe against tier 1 teams at events, winning North American quals, when you consider that teams like Liquid and Cole have also been competing inside of those themselves. So I think M80, I've really liked following this team in 2024. So I do kind of have high expectations of them to win.
No, 100%. I think the other thing that makes M80 really interesting is, like, there were multiple times where the kind of project could have been in peril. You know,
you lose Malbs.
You lose Malbs. Wow. Prior to that, you had Mank step out of the roster, right? Like, you've had two gargantuan problems to have to overcome, losing your IGL, and then following that up by losing your star player. And both times they've been able to move past it and bring in new pieces and remain competitive. So I think they've had a real uphill battle from the guys that are left over to the organizational standpoint, and every single time they've been able to overcome it. So there is something very endearing and very impressive about that fact.
It's easy to get behind this team. They've been very aggressive with their roster changes, which I think is really cool. When we remember the first M80 show, it was Wolfie and Manx in this team, like, and it was, you know, completely apparent. Like, if this team wanted to be relevant, they had to upgrade an AWP. Like, they had to get a more consistent AWPing player. As North America, we know they struggle with AWPers. And yeah, Slacks was a great pickup, great timing as well with the Sprout project falling apart, and you know, grabbing Slacks and then getting a German in-game leader as well, who came off of a lot of experience in Big and Big Academy. I think a lot of timing things worked out very well for M80, even though there were polar opposites like Manx leaving and Malbs getting picked up. So I think they've done very well with what they've got. And for that reason, I think it'd be very cool to see them at the major. Let's see, though, because this is a loser's match, keep in mind. You're already on the back foot. M80 fighting forward with a 2-0 lead. And RED Canids on an eco. Double molly mid off spawner. They send it. Full control of middle. RED Canids forced out here. Very hard to stop a mid take when you throw double molly. And they use it just to set up a lurker, but RED Canids are not really adjusting that much. They're just kind of sticking to their guns, and so with Lake faking this out, unless he clears A and calls them off the B hit, which he has done. Oh dear, now it's awkward. Now they're stuck in middle with neither site. It was a B stack all along. This is some awkward mid-rounding now for Sin, having to manage this round. Just walking back to B seems to be the call. Nice shot. That's bomb scene. They got to go quick.
We're gonna have two players taking up this this water control very, very quickly, pushing all the way through A. Means the M80 will have to brave the four-man stack if they want to get this bomb, or not even get the bomb, then win the round. You're gonna have to do it to kills here, and Swisher, no issues there. Cleanly done. And even though they walk into that stack, they deal with it well. Gonna have to wait a few more rounds before you get to see the spectacle from Henny, as he's only on that USP picked up right at the close. M80 get handed a kind of awkward mid-round, even though they're only up against the eco, and still managed to get out looking good at the end of it.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than your player getting really deep in the site, calling, come to me, I've got the site, and then he dies in that moment. Beautiful deep shot from Davideus. But it, yeah, on an eco, anti-eco, doesn't cause too much calamity. Swisher keeps it clean, and here's the buy. Here's the AWP for Henny. Here's what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, I want to see what version of Henny we get, because we all know what a switched on Henny can do and what he's capable of, and how kind of single-handedly that AWP can dominate a game. So let's see what Henny brings to the table here, seeing as he gets that big green straight away into the first buy round for RED Canids.
BXEC, but RED Canids a double con right now. They're not really positioned for this. They can afford to give up the site, play a bit of a retake. But M80 are about to show 4 players through main right now with a late con lurk as well. coldzera, a lot to do in this round. Davideus comes through and tries to play behind the side. coldzera swings out. That bomb being allowed right now. M80 a man down, but with the bomb in their favor.
Oh, Rek in a rough way gets sandwiched between that A push and the dark players.
Such a big flank he's going for.
And MIBR finds one more in the meantime, and it's just down to 2, Sin and Slacks, but they're not going to be able to get a leash back on this one. RED Canids looking for a flawless first round bye here. Retake comes on through, and they managed to keep it real clean.
Was Rek going for the Omega flank, or did he just get spotted by Con and want to get out of position? Then Henny activated, pushing A main. I didn't quite catch what his intention was, but if he's going for the Omega flank, that feels very late in the round to do so. Already in the post bar, he'd have to run the whole way. And even then, that's an awkward round for M80 where coldzera plays it perfectly, they get 1 kill, they give up the site, they play retake together. Good bit of teamwork for RED Canids shown. And Henny already trying to establish some control on this map. They're both in front of the smoke. And he's still going for it. He just, yeah, finally pulls back. He didn't know Swisher was already on top. Lots of damage done despite no kills. Red Canids put M80 on their last legs. It's going to be a very hard round to convert now.
And he's moved over towards A with that AWP. And at first I thought maybe they wanted to try and trade out the position of Davideus, but instead you might actually have to like commit to pushing through A main here. Instead, just going to rotate back safely as Venom Zera alleviates any pressure in this round with that double up. Oh man, he's on for the ace.
Slacks won't give it. He wants that AWP. Oh, I take it back. He's in trouble. They've got time to hunt this.
Go on then, get it.
Yeah.
There's the ace. Venom Zera, with a little help from his friend Cold, able to lock in all 5 in the round. And leaves one hell of an impression to open up here.
Super awkward, right? They dropped water. They had everyone surrounding B, and Red Canids didn't know. They weren't playing information on A. They were playing really safe. And as a player drops in water, Venom Zera hears that and swings, and they both line up. It's just very bad timing. Nice hold on B, and now they got a bit of confidence to play behind it.
Swisher doesn't have a gun.
Okay. Well,
he's found one.
Yeah,
little Glock picked up.
Yep, hunting for another, but put down. All right, Red Canids back in the game.
Something that's been cool, like I thought it was going to be a problem. Red Canids are giving up, like, you know, there are different ways you can approach Anubis, and one of the things that we always talk about is how, like, CT aggression is hard to pull off. Like, it's hard to know exactly when and where to do it. But I think thus far, even going back as far as the pistol, they've given up a lot of ground here. So instead, you're always like relying on the strength of the kind of either the 2-man A-hold and the crossfire they're able to establish, or, and as has been the case in really every round so far, the strength of your B players. They're not, you know, they don't have access to that like perfect info to kind of push and pull the rotates around the map and be in the right place at the right time. And so a lot of this has just been 2 or 3 players setting themselves up really well in nice crossfires and playing off of each other well, and that's how they've got these 3 rounds so far.
Anubis is so good for that, right? Crossfires are so powerful. Think about the mid cross from camera to temple. Think about all the positions available at B, from jail to pillar to plat to con.
But I just think there's been moments in this game where other teams might try and push to get the info to figure out rotates ahead of time.
Yeah.
And that's often the way you would look to do things, but they've just had a lot of faith in their kind of respective bomb sites, and it's worked out for them so far.
Well, Miss Molly might make Lake doubt the mid push. He doesn't go for it. He'll wait for the flash instead. I'll give him door control. Presence in mid draws Davideus' eyes over. And they're going to crunch together. This could be really nice. Timing is awkward though. Switches put pressure on B. Davideus bails. And he has the cross instead on the AW.
Yeah, I mean, I think mid has to be the way in for M80, right? You're playing this 2-3 split every round if you're Red Canids, so somewhere gets left open, and that place is middle. Covered by Henny's AWP, sure, but as you see, it's limited angles, limited sight lines, and the util's able to disrupt him. There's the backstab onto the main player. And so with that, M80 have control over the A site. They're going to have a plant here.
Yeah, just have to pick up the bomb. That Molly bought a few more seconds. Oh, they grab it with 20 left and can get that plant in, but look at the timing of this main flank. Need a shot for Lake on the AW. He's going to hit one. Cold Zera with a trade out. Davideus moving in. 2v2. We've seen them do it before. They're going to try again, but the swing comes in from M80. 1v1 now. Sin with the round, and he can't close it today. Cold Zera rolling back the years and pulling up with a 4th round for Red Canids, a high impact round on that 2K.
It's the bloody Zeras, man.
Up to it again. back at it. That's a bit of a mess. That molly bought so much time for that bomb pickup, like more than 10 seconds, because they're still scared it's being held in camera. It's really what feels like what wins the round, even though, yeah, it is cold zero, but it just allowed the flank to be really quick and no one could take good positions. They had to fight towards camera. Love to see that from RED Canids. A very confident start to this game, despite going 3-0 down. Swisher. Oh, he could get away with something here. Waiting in the fade, and he'll hear the clip.
Yeah, if you hear that smoke come out, you want to go looking.
Oh, changed his mind. It was all
it's a good fake, yeah. It's a lot of pressure applied over towards B. Two players known about, and so RED Canids keep that triple hold. Meanwhile, the rest of M80 try to move into A. Henny's AWP was blinded in the last round, couldn't get the ball rolling. But in this one, he secured that advantage for the RED Canids. They try to come steamrolling through the util, looking to press that advantage while they know that there's still M80 players moving around the map, but doesn't pan out. And now some real estate's getting taken. Now the Tech-9s are up close and personal.
Oh no, the smoke.
Battling back, Sin gonna lend a helping hand to Slacks, who finishes off Venomzera. It's just Henny out into the open. And Slacks with 4 puts M80 back on the board.
What an aggressive post plant for M80, right? It's kind of why Davideus is going through the smoke before his team and trying to fight. He knows that he can stop M80 from gaining space, from picking up weapons, force them back. And M80 just come to RED Canids and they don't let him out of heaven. Tech-9's trading contact. Very aggressive. And well put together by Slacks, who, a bit of luck, goes a long way. But not for long. Back to reality.
Yeah, this is a much more proactive start from Henny on that AWP. No longer just kind of watching camera from the A site to supplement that side of the map. Instead, being a lot more active. Takes that early mid fight. Now rotates over towards A. They haven't really had to worry about the AWP on that side of the map. So for M80, will they ever get that info? He's actually teeing up his teammates to take away the B main control. With that, there's a lot of info now for RED Canids. As we touched on earlier, they've been impressive in rounds where they're flying blind. Yeah. This time they have the gift of info. They know that it's not looking like the B play. And so suddenly Henny's AWP retakes control over middle. There's an option for assistance from Davideus, who's right now over in main with Nithon. There's that AWP.
Oh, element of surprise. They attempt it, but it comes back to bite them. With no smoke down, they are not getting through that choke. And Sin's just going to give it a go, try and look for some damage or a bomb plant. And Molly may allow the latter, but they will be on him immediately. Oh, should be fine. Right? Yeah. Plenty of numbers to go through. Interesting, at the start of the round, M80 had like a damage play where they smoke con, they molly pillar close main, and then they double nade Venomzera, but it did 24 damage, the double nade. It is a bounce, they land quite high, but I'm shocked at how little damage that double HE did. I feel like that should set you up for a kill. They've got little tricks. We know M80 love a bit of Anubis. Played that incredibly long game against Fnatic on this map. Got a lot in the tank to show, but right now RED Canids are absolutely running this game. Aggressive move with a deep Molotov.
Dude, this is sick. The CT side's just been evolving as the game goes on. It started off, you know, with everyone kind of holding their ground. You're all responsible for your own little portion of the map. But over the last 2 rounds, you've been getting some of that aggression coming through from the CT side. You've been getting them taking away key real estate. In this round, they've gotten all of A main. Now, they do lose coldzera there to Slacks' AWP. But it's quickly looking to be made up for. Everyone came rotating in. RED Canids had everybody here. But they all die in a second, and the round is done.
Slacks just holding the smoke timing and gets very fortunate. But M80 make the most of that. equal up the scoreline. And don't take any casualties in the meantime. Paramount to these last couple of rounds of the half.
Yeah, that's a bit of a rough one for coldzera there, right? Like getting caught on the smoke out towards main, because if he doesn't fall, M80, they were always going to look to go B when they saw that util comes over from A to facilitate the A take. There's kind of two responses. You either go late and you re-clear that, and you try to retake that ground off of the CTs. What? Or, you know, you pick up the pace in the knowledge that there's like multiple players challenging for A, and so you quickly launch into the B hit, and Cold being available for the opener and falling right there is like the red carpet rolled out for the B play.
When Lake got that BS kill at the end here on Nython, he starts shouting, "They can't hear you, bro. They're not in the room. They're in the other room." He's trying to yell them through the walls. Whatever hypes you up, though. I mean, M80 need that energy right now after a very impressive game from RED Canids. And even though the scoreline's equal, right, as off the back of M80 go 3-0 up off pistol, so RED Canids have absolutely won out the gun round so far. I mean, fair enough, Lake. You had no business getting that kill. Flame away. But this is very important for RED Canids to stay above water. They lose this, and suddenly we're looking at a 7-round T-half after just a beautiful assimilation of rounds from the Brazilians. Could be all for nothing. Yeah, they flash in, they flash out. Nothing to do with that. AXX, but they're not committing here. That's just one player going for it. Rec will get nothing from that play.
I mean, yeah, like, you know, you're trying to give the illusion you're leaning over towards A, but it's like you were never in a position if you're M80 to go fast on the back of this anywhere else. So even though you temporarily dismantled the B hold somewhat, you weren't actually in a position to take it yourselves either. And so for RED Canids, now that the whole map goes silent, they reconstruct the triple B lead. Now you hear the shots from Dark. You don't have info over towards main, and so yeah, coldzera will rejoin this B hold. M80 looking like they want to follow back through with the A play after all, but one step ahead is coldzera.
He's moving quick, but so are M80 trying to crunch down on this double site hold. Do they expect a second player? Doesn't look like it. Surprise, surprise. Nython, though, only one, and enough time to plant. Means M80 might be in that golden position to win out the first half. Definitely should be saving this AWP. No business here for RED Canids. Doors are closed. And M80, got to give it to him, despite this streak of rounds. 5-1, 4 in a row for the Brazilians. They've landed back on their feet and broken the money for the final round of the half. This is a T-sided map. We do expect, you know, 7 5s, at least 6 6s.
Terrorists win.
Tables around here somewhere. There it is. Oh, Lake's just going to call the bluff on that smoke with the mid-take util down. He doesn't buy it for a second, and so Lake up close. Davideus here. And that one's free.
Oh no.
Just didn't have the util to counter that effectively. And late, head on a swivel, second kill found.
Yeah, he knows. Even just the pressure's enough here. Doesn't even need to fight. He probably will. But late, that's a smart play. Just gets out. Living here is so big. It just ensures the round cannot be lost. And it's all mid retaking. Lake resets. That's the round winner. He's not even going for the kills on the way out now. He just wants to close it. And M80, this is almost a guaranteed 7th round. Retake exec. Good nade. Swisher's blind. He's got so much cover. That smoke's not a wall. They'll shoot right through it. And there's nothing to save. Fantastic T-side for M80. I was with you, Harry. I was absolutely with you. RED Canids were piecing together some nice adaptations, throwing in some surprisingly passive rounds, supplementing with some pushes near the end of the half. But somehow, M80 control this game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would still say it's more like serviceable T-side, but you have your work cut out for you.
Certainly not done.
Like, you want the pistol to open up. Oftentimes, that can be like where the CTs do the bulk of their heavy lifting in the first halves here. Instead, I think RED Canids had to earn it all in the rifles. And so, I don't know. I think 7-5 still leaves this game very, very open, if I'm honest. The second half pistol is going to be worth a hell of a lot. That would ease up a lot of the worries for M80. Because you feel like, you know, you could have, were it not for a couple of these rounds going differently in the midpoint, like you had that one super close clutch round. If that one had gone your way and you kind of walk away with the 8-4, I think then you're feeling good about it. But one round can make all the difference here, Hugo. Let's see.
One round at a time. That's what RED Canids say in this pistol. Couple of util sets, just the one for M80 spread out. It's very clear though, they hear all the steps, they just think they're mid, they think they're being split right now because of the steps earlier. Venomzera over the smoke, sitting with a quick swap, trying to hide inside, trades places somehow. This is a mess, no kill for M80, they're out of there. That's one way to give up, eh?
Oh, nothing found on the follow-up though, and yeah, this is exactly what you were worried about here. Pistol round, RED Canids walk away with it. And so now it's a one-round game, but you're on the back foot. RED Canids on the favored side, and we know that they've got the ability to tango when the rifles come out. That's what the first half taught us. Gonna have the force buy in from M80. That means rifles don't come out to the fourth round if they fall down here. And so suddenly, you know, that would be a pretty serious lead for RED Canids. Bit of a golden chance to get off to a real hot start in this second half and capitalize on that CT side.
They seem pretty sure the switch is in the corner. So he'll get out. A main attempted, but RED Canids push him back. Perfect time to just do an A-pop here. The whole map's quiet, and M80 have been denied on both their aggressive moves, so they're forced into pretty passive setups. Looking like they're going to try re-clear middle together, but that will all come too late. Good smoke for Sin. And actually will hold RED Canids back. This is getting awkward. Are they going to try retake B? Timing on the con push spotted. Everyone gets seen. And now RED Canids with a 5v4. They feel confident to just go in.
I mean, you know, there's only one guy there, Max, and Cold's error makes it so that's not even the case. Save called for M80, they're just too far away, so these SMGs get grandfathered forward at least, but it's a tie game now. No jump in the gun there for RED Canids, waiting till they have the info to actually play off of before they make their move.
Slow and steady, but similar to the CT side in that they're just all grouped, they're all playing together, trying to play the trade game. Seeing a pretty comfortable couple of rounds so far for the RED Canids. Still got one more saved over bonus for M80. Not bonus, but force, essentially.
Util pull is the invitation to go for that push.
Good flash.
And this is not comfortable anymore for the RED Canids. Cold's hesitant to leave this position. He kind of feels locked in here.
This is the dream as well, by the way. Like getting this timing on a push like this. Lake is cleared out, be at 50 seconds. He can either park up or he can start to full flank. Either way, his teammates can rotate out and reinforce the other site.
Swisher having this smoke still at 40 seconds left in the round on a no investment round here from M80. Just those saved SMGs is huge. The fact he's held on to that so long. They're going to make their way out, but they're not ready for Swisher. They're not ready for him. That MP9 tears it all away. 20 seconds remain for Henny. Jumpy on the push around in through main. But time is of the essence. Smoke still in his way. And Swisher has delivered this round to M80 in more ways than one. Holding onto that util and then taking it one step further. 3 kills. Beautifully done from Swisher.
Yeah, won it off positioning, right? Just completely avoided that Molotov just enough. And by the way, Sin is playing like a genius in that round. Not only the guy to set up the flash here at the start of the round to get the kill, but he's the one who pushes through the smoke to trade his teammate after Knife on like hard pre-fires him in main. If Sin doesn't get that kill, then Swisher doesn't have the room to bait in the site, to play safe behind the molly. So it's such a good example of the teamwork there of M80 that wins them a round they shouldn't be winning. That's a save. That's a couple of SMGs and a bit of util. And look at what it does for them. Anubis CT can be a drag. I mean, the amount of things that needed to go right there for that round to be won. The B main push, the A push with the kill, the trade out in main, and then Swisher letting them in. But it happened, and now M80 hold the lead and may even break this money if they win a rifle round now. Cheeky.
Okay, Nathan.
That's sick. They use a flash just to get him past them, not so he can fight them, but so he can slip behind.
Even 1 kill is huge, but it's completely on Nighthon when he shoots, and so just holds the shot.
Slack's never moved. He had no idea.
And that's the round.
What a cool idea.
Yeah.
What a cool idea. You get that much mid-room, you just flash him off camera. And like that CT saying I'm blind, you know, there's a timing, but he took that timing to the extreme.
Yeah, I think sometimes RED Canids have this issue where it feels like they're waiting too much for the perfect info or like the perfect play to present itself. But in moments like that, you see the versatility in it. Like no one on this RED Canids squad is gonna get caught kind of overextending there or jumping the gun. They were always gonna give the room to Nighthon in with the backstab. And it just works beautifully in that instance. Great util to get him across in the first place. And that was the idea from the get-go, even, you know, kind of linking into the Molotovs that get thrown to actually give that mid-control to Nighthon in the first place. It's the ones that leave a kind of channel open around the doors so that you can peek down mid. He got the info, it was fully clear, and once they know the space he's got, they tee it up so he can cross and win them the fight over on B. That's big picture thinking there for the RED Canids. And you can see M80
How?
not happy and very dismayed as to how that even happened. They don't know how he got there.
I'm sure they can piece it together in retrospect, but they've got to be very careful about middle now. So Slacks will take it with the AWP instead. Where's my bloody nade gone? Second one will hit? No, it won't. Cole just backs up. Saw it coming. Double volley mid-take. A lot more eyes on this one though, with Slacks on his AWP, expecting more control towards this part of the map after they just want to round with it. They're trying to figure out something in A, some sort of swap.
Yeah, M80 need a solution here because the pressure is really on at this point in the game for M80. Like they're on the harder side. It's now an even score line. Their money is the one that's like on the edge of being broken, and so you're about to start to lose out on the economy game. So you really need this to be the round where it all comes together.
Brutal.
It might have to be an individual moment of brilliance here, as it's just these two players in at the back of the site. Slacks won't see a thing through these smokes, and with Lake spammed out, never even getting the chance to play. They're looking for that way in. Tag on a Henny. Venomzera doesn't give the kill over, and instead it's Nighthon from middle to deal with Rex backstab. Everyone's getting wounded for RED Canids, but M80 just can't get the kill to bring them back into this round.
Save.
And they've got to back out now. They can't hang around. They can't justify fighting for this. So much damage done, but never getting the kills, never enticing themselves in. RED Canids up into the lead. Save guns at least, so a buy up in the next, but it's really tenuous right now is the money for M80. It's balancing on a knife's edge. Even this save, if you go for the buy here, it still has some serious limitations. You're going to be missing util. You've dropped Famises over. It is not the ideal buy. Far from it, in fact. And this is you fighting for the economy. This is you know, really fighting for the momentum of this game. You've staked a lot of it on this round here and now as RED Canids up in the lead. Tac pause called in. They know that winning this one, winning this round, tees them up to start sprinting towards the finish line.
It's been such a grind, this game. I mean, the amount of back and forth rounds. RED Canids, I mean, neither team has been comfortable, safe to say. But RED Canids certainly feel like they are sneaking in at the final hour. A hopeful buy for M80 here with the AWP still. I want to see them go back to making their plays. As passive and as punishing as RED Canids has been We know M80 have the firepower, and this is it. This is more like it. Aggressive, dropping through the water. Great deep utility in middle. Sets them up with a 5-on-4. They're going to try peel out while they can. Get back to that B-bomb site through the safety of Con. RED Canids, will they react off this window of opportunity? It doesn't seem like it. They're still scared of more aggression.
I mean, that's such a great judgment from M80 in this very desperate scenario. RED Canids have just taken a pause. They've been wanting to play slow anyway. You know that they've just talked a whole game plan over in that timeout, and so you throw caution to the wind. You give them nothing but issues. You don't let them run on what was just discussed in the pause.
Switch is having a hell of a game right now. Another impactful double. It can all fall apart though if Slacks falls early. He's been mollied out. He's trying to hold on. Smoke down. Switch has sent through it, but he's going to get traded. This keeps M80 in the lead for now. Bomb plant complicates matters worse. Util, no kit, 3-on-2.
Into the orb. Delivered over for free is Davideus Henny. 2 bullets in this AWP. A backstab coming in. And so many angles left to worry about. He knows one man over towards heaven. But everyone else, it's just a big question mark. And there's that backstab. Very late on the trigger pull there from Sin. But the patience, the pace, the time that they're willing to lend to him does a world of good for M80. Swisher, a thorn in the side of the RED Canids as he entirely uproots the game plan after that pause.
I can't believe that insta drop. They all knew exactly what they were doing. A nice little dry run with mollies in middle with a stairs smoke, jumping through the window. It's risky. You can get spammed out instantly, but M80 make it work. Like to see Swisher playing like this, for sure. Can they keep him coming? 9-9. But the Orba says yes. Push deep to main. Another mid-take, looking very nice for the RED Canids. A try, high risk, and no reward from it. They know there's an orb. Slacks needs a multi-kill. He's trying to escape. They allow it. Still a mid-lurker in the camera smoke. M80 have no idea. Oh, Swisher's on another level right now. If he walked in A, he had 2 backs turned. And now they've got to bail. Hope for the best. Lake on the B-bomb site. And they've even revealed it by accident. From bad to worse, RED Canids have dug themselves a shallow grave in this round.
Three strong here for M80.
Good flash.
Oh, a little awkward as they block each other, trying to get back into the site. Ooh. Henny and Cold Zera battling back in. That last man's found by Cold, and now it's just Slacks. Lengthy rotate around through the spawn side as Henny and Cold Zera successfully turn this one around. Now they've just got to finish the job. It's this Orba Slacks moving in. Shot sails past Cold.
1 bullet. It's done.
And he fades away.
No
M80
way.
thought they had this one.
No way.
And by all margins, it looked like they did. They read it well. They dealt with the mid-lurk. They made that A-main push happen. But right at the close, Cold Zera and Henny able to play off of one another. Cole with that bailout kill onto the site player was huge. Dude. Like if Henny falls there, it's a 1v1. It's all up in the air. Slacks can very much go for this.
That's a classic Cold Zera round. Just pull it out of nowhere when you think it's already done in a near unwinnable B hit into a 2v4. My God. This game is cinema right now. Anyone could take this dub. Beautiful entries. I don't know how RED Canids stay above water.
it's awkward as well. Like that blocking each other in the site felt like it was going to be inconsequential in the moment. It's like, yeah, okay, you kind of gave up the first kill through doing so, but then things got really awkward once Cold gets to stretch his legs out and go for a bit of a walk over towards B.
That was a run. And M80 have to buy. They save an AWP at least. They've got a bit of this and that. But
this is that economy pressure that you were so close to getting away from, now coming back to haunt you. As sure, you buy up here. Once again, couple of limitations, but not the end of the world. It's the next round. It's the fact that if RED Canids get onto 11, you're ecoing. Yeah, we've essentially giving over match point at that point.
We've not seen an eco in this half, really. It's just been buying, right? Other than after pistol, it's everyone either saving enough or trading rounds so they can always buy. And to eco 11-9 down, play for OT, not where you want to be. RED Canids doing it late in the game when you're ready to write them off. Slacks realizes he can actually sit on that molly, but it takes a bit of damage when he tries to re-peek. B hit, but the nade is too early. He doesn't know. They're walking through the smoke. Good flashback. Swisher's not in cover, though. They line up. Swisher trades. There's a chance here for M80 to stay in this game, but right now, coldzera again is entering once more. Double kill in the B bomb site, back-to-back rounds.
Cold loves these pushes out through the connector. Back-to-back rounds now where coldzera has found a multi-kill to tee up his squad. Slacks trying to fire off to send them back through, but it's those damn Zeras. coldzera and Venom Zera locking in 11, breaking the money of M80, and maybe their hope here on Anubis. Scores would have to be settled in overtime right now, as M80 don't have the money to buy. It's left to an eco.
Cold still got it, man. Why would you doubt? New game, same Zera. Such impactful kills in the same position. And of course, M80 have to eco. They must respect the economy at this point. Even getting dealt a little fake by Venom, dropping onto the box. And they hear that. They are heavy on A right now, falling for this, while RED Canids still default. If you're here so long, so blind, you might feel like you have to make a play, but luckily enough, RED Canids are announcing some presence. So M80 with a little, you could call it a VP stack. As soon as they see this, the bomb goes B. Good flash. Well, not for wreck. Oh, a couple of guns. Get out of here, boys. Even this is a tough call. If you don't get another kill for free, do you save? Do you go for it? The only thing that's tempting them right now is the advantage and the fact that bomb is not down yet. It's going to take some time.
Oh,
so tight.
Oh, it's just a tag. Bomb's going to get planted now. They try to flood in. They try to flood through. Nightthon puts a stop to it, though. And the flood of M80 cancelled out. So close to finding success on the eco.
Nightthon just wipes his face. Oh, relief. We almost choked the anti-eco. That was meant to be the free round. RED Canids, I mean, they lost the first half, but they had a beautiful string of rounds. I wasn't sure if it would amount to much. There were numerous chances in this half to lose the game. And, man, they have absolutely dug themselves out of every sticky situation you can imagine. Can they walk that final walk and take this map?
Slacks really wants to be involved off the rip here, but as many of these rounds have started for RED Canids, they're in no rush, working this map control. Nice and slow. It feels like they always want a clear picture before they make their move.
Oh.
Trade set up there.
They know it's
facilitates the 4-on-4, and they know that Slacks was floating around on that AWP. Backstab denied. Lake cautious of middle. They've learned. Nighton's been caught trying to do this a couple of times now since his big success of the B flank prior.
Ouch.
But that peek from Slacks is punished.
Just Lake.
Goes to pad out this B site. Lake, can he be the difference maker? The one that keeps M80 in Anubis that much longer. Just the one and done. Wreck him with the backstab. Leaves it all on Henny. This AWP has not been a requirement for the RED Canids. Henny has not had to do much. But in this 1v2, both players right there down in dark ahead of him. Henny taps it.
Ooh.
They hear the AWP scope up. They don't call his bluff here. Henny gonna have to go hunting for this, and that shot misses. Can't seal the deal. M80 live to fight another day.
Dude, this game is so tense. It's so tight. The margins of which rounds are won are coming down to seconds and singular kills. And M80 don't want to go down without a fight. They call for as many overtimes as it takes. Good save from Lake there again.
You know, I like
times you see Lake just on his own on B as well. Sorry.
No, I like how, you know, a lot of the RED Canids game plan is like this slower style, waiting to see what M80 gives them, trying to be risk averse. But I think there are times where avoiding risk is a risk in and of itself, right? Like when they get that kill on Slacks' AWP down in dark, I would have loved to have seen Davideus, who was up close in B main, immediately take the space.
Yeah.
But he hesitates, and it's only for a moment. But that moment allows Lake to actually get in the sight, offer up resistance. If they could nail down just a few of these moments where it is appropriate to move faster, something like this, where suddenly they're just running down the A site. There's the risk, there's the reward. RED Canids 3-on-2 in the post plant.
This might be the end of the game. This might be M80 going down 0-2 in the RMR. Henny concedes position, goes all the way back to play the bomb, to play for the win, and that feels inevitable right now for the RED Canids. They've got a smoke, they've got a kit, they've got two players, they've got a chance, but M80 have to battle back against the odds. Molly himself, that's awkward. Lake does get his kill, Swisher comes through the smoke, and in a blink of an eye, M80 live to fight another round. That's a bit of a overstep for RED Canids. They don't even try and play the bomb. They're all fighting, they're all in the open. They could have just abandoned the site player, played that package. That's very weird to see. That was such a perfect hit. You were calling for it. You get it, Harry. And then they just all peek in the post. No business winning that round, M80.
Yeah.
No business at all.
Dude, kind of a really crazy way.
I was ready for that to be over.
The penultimate round to go. You walk into a stack. It's another fast round.
No.
That flash is brutal, and Swisher lays waste to the RED Canids. Can he get the ace? 4 out of 5, just cold terror running on in. Swisher falls, but he's done his job. Overtime is locked in as M80 demand extra time.
Oh, they are going to be kicking themselves, RED Canids. They had the perfect opportunity. They won so many disadvantaged rounds, but who knew it was the one advantage post plant, a 3-on-2 that they couldn't close. And now we go into overtime. What? M80 on overtime Anubis. That's their bread and butter.
I mean, Swisher is very much the backbone of this right now.
Yeah.
Top in the charts, 25 and 13. Having a crazy performance is Swisher. He's been, when he's needed to be, he's been the anchor. When he's needed to be, he's been the driving force.
Def trying to keep the boys locked in. I mean, he's an experienced coach, not just as coach, but he's played in the RMR, Harry. He was here last time. Got to keep their head in it right now. This is a very tense game. Like, just with the way that the rounds flow, with how indecisive the rounds are, changing favor in the final seconds. Colt.
Yeah, I just don't know how RED Canids are now going to feel, because I think they were kind of favored in this game for a while, and to have gone from playing so safe, so by the numbers, to having your fate decided and like throwing away a 3v2 after battling through the stack, after being so close to victory and then it getting away from you, I don't know if you can get back to that now. RED Canids try their hand at like a nade stack over towards B main early, hoping that that would have netted them something off the top. But no love from it, and so now they just regroup outside of this A site.
To me, the winner of this overtime is going to be which AWPer can get activated, right? Like, both of them have been pretty inconsequential. Slacks has missed some sitters. Henny has been pretty irrelevant on the AWP. Sure, we've had some hero rifle rounds from players like Cold Zero, players like Swisher, but I want to see if an AWP can be a real figure piece in this overtime, as it's now not constricted by economy. Push through middle for M80. They send every single player in mid to push. 3 of them flanking. Now Sax goes back to the site, tries to assist Rek, who's got to give it up completely as they wait for this heavy backstab.
All right, Henny AWP finally gets to be involved here, does Henny. Opens up the post plant, an early 5-on-4 for RED Canids. In the timeline of that bomb, half the time ticked off of it, so M80 have got to make a move sooner rather than later. They play their hand now, and it's Henny's AWP again, striking them off the tally. Nighthon, quick work made of the last 2 as they trickle out through heaven.
Yeah, they really need that first entry on the flank there. Even though I like the idea that M80, you know, they smoke off main after they lose Lake, but I don't think RED Canids fell for it because they realized that someone else flashed Lake into this position. The flash came after. And he's on a nice angle there to deal with the flank. And a pushed up post plant. They fight together. RED Canids on the board for the first.
It would be a very RED Canids decision to go and retake this B long control. Like, they don't like going super fast. If one thing's been clear over this game, and the few times they have, it's not really worked out for them. So they want to go back and try and deal with that side of the map. But M80, I think you're aware of this fact. They show their hand with the B aggression and then so quickly have tripled up over on the A side of the map to go and take this control away. This is a really nice bit of adjustment from M80 to the pace that RED Canids have been playing at. And in the same way, it felt like it was maybe obvious to us that RED Canids were going to go and do this. I think it's obvious to M80 as well. They're about to go reinforce B with a third man moving over in Sin.
Yeah, but scared of mid lurking for good reason. No eyes on middle all round, but it's just Henny holding with the AWP. He'll be left out of the picture. It's Lake on the B side, like an anchor. Just 3 drowns them on the B side. M80 level the playing field with 1 apiece. And time for the decider of the half.
That was a very well put together round from M80.
Yeah.
Just a great understanding of what RED Canids would look to do based on the info they get. And so full control for M80 in that round there, and suddenly in with a chance to win out this first half of OT. It's going to be more of this early aggression. Venomzera, coldzera in this crossfire again, but this time there's no opener for Venomzera. Last time, Cold was able to play the trade game here. That's no longer the case. They've snuck past Henny's orb. This could be another kill on a platter. Henny moving in. Who will fire off first? He's missed it, and there's Rex with the backstab. This 1-2 punch and Slacks and Rex destroys the Red Canids on that A-hole.
That could not have gone better for M80, even though it almost went very wrong with the orb walking into Slacks. And he had one shot, and he missed it. And that just gives Slacks a trade onto Cold. The house of cards crumbling yet again for the Canids. And a nice safe information gather means Davideus is known about and surely can't win this round. He's got 1-1v1. Take it while you can. Lake will not give it. Molly down. 30 seconds, 2 in B. Hoping for the best. But M80 win out the half of overtime.
Yeah, this was a really nice change from M80 once we got into OT. Like, I think when they were playing within regulation, there was always this worry that they can't do a lot of the aggressive moves. I think they wanted to because they feel like that would be the solution, but the scoreline was really tight, and Red Canids were the ones who were one round away from winning this game. And so they couldn't do that. But once we got into OT, risks taken in both of those last 2 rounds. They win both of them as well. They put a stop to the Red Canids default. And that was what was netting the Brazilians all those rounds early on in regulation on this T side. Now it's M80 in the driver's seat, and that's off of the back of their CT side, the one that they struggled with in regulation. Moving into a T-half now where they need just 2 rounds to put this game to rest. M80 are now the favorites.
That should be, in theory, easy. Obviously, everything changes when you hit overtime, but they had a really solid T-side towards the end, winning 7-5.
I think the thing that's problematic is just that, like, Red Canids aren't huge. You know, they play a lot off like that intuition. They try to piece together the info on how the round's going to pan out. But in the early stages, they just kind of stay in that 3-2 split, and we saw that so often on their CT side. And if you do that and M80 just exec on you with 5 players, they're always going to have that advantage of the numbers, right? And so do you start playing for info now if you're Red Canids? Do you use that to try and better your judgment here and lean into the stacks? When you weren't doing that all throughout the first half of play, it's a really awkward decision to have to make. You don't envy them for it. I think M80 are very firmly in the driver's seat here.
Again, they abuse middle, and immediately is given up, and now he's sitting at 3-2. Last time, Henny got a kill here. He's going to fake it out and try and reinforce A. It's exactly what you're talking about, Harry. They seem indecisive. That bomb could be going anywhere. Oh, Molly forces them both out. No one can punish that. But it allows M80 to drop in and put a bit of a probe on B to scare Red Canids, keeping Henny out of position for the time being. Aggression in A main, that's the answer. Red Canids could get popped through this smoke though.
Oh, they see Naithani can't chain together the double. Davideus hears the footsteps, they're closing in on him here. Tries to turn and deal with it, but can't get a bearing. That 3-man push. Able to get past him, and now Slacks his orb, bears down upon middle. No movement on this rotate for Red Canids as that orb very much controls whether or not they're able to help out the A site. And so Red Canids lean into the save. M80 now have 2 chances to get this over the line.
What a painful loss this would be for Red Canids, considering how well they held on to this game near the end of their T side. The advantage they had felt like this game was literally over in one of these rounds at 12-10. But they couldn't do it. And they're going to pay the price. M80 forcing a save of irrelevance. As RED Canids call out their one timeout to try and stay in this map. We've just seen nothing in their CT side that would suggest they would make a play like M80 did, where they have a set call out of spawn and go for information, go for a move, push A main, drop water, even fight B main. Like, look at the amount of times you see Sax gets boosted up, goes for a deep B pick, a double A trade. We've seen that twice in this game already. M80 have all these moves on CT side. We haven't seen RED Canids even attempt it.
No, the only few times they had is like when Henny would be that third man over towards B and he would sometimes flash them out B main. But because they're so worried about middle and they've kind of gone half aggressive over towards A main, so they're not watching mid from A like they do when Henny is that free, you know, moving piece between mid and B, he wasn't there to do it. And so instead you're flying blind throughout the entirety of the round. And they might have been able to make that work in regulation, but here, you know, when the pressure's really on, when every round is worth so much, they're kind of scared into this very rigid CT side with little to no movement. We're not seeing enough movement from the RED Canids.
3-2. Davideus eyes on middle, able to back up. Might have to, as the camera smoke comes in, they elude vision. This is a fake execute right now, I think. They've still got players lurking outside B. This fake is perfect, because Rek's pushed in. He's done a lot of damage. Lost Lake in the process. Davideus, don't walk through the smoke. Oh my god, he might get away with it. Rek just turned at the worst possible second, and despite the damage done on A, it's B that RED Canids hold on for how long? That molly slows the bomb. RED Canids rotating all through spawn to group up and trade out to try and keep this game going.
Davideus is low. Slack's left alone in the site. Henny picked out from the back lines, and Swisher now returns. There's the backstab. They're pincing in. Davideus a dead man, and Swisher rounds it out. And the victory secured for M80 in overtime as they battle back. It might have been RED Canids with multiple chances to walk this one over the line, but in the end, M80 emerged victorious.
My God, that was